Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here today. If you're tuning in, it probably means you're someone who loves understanding the deeper mechanics of the world around you. Well, today we're actually turning that analytical lens inward. We're going to explore a critically important topic, the factors affecting mental health, particularly when you're trying to navigate high-stress environments. Let's just jump right into this, because the insights we have to cover today are incredibly practical and, honestly, deeply relevant to just about all of us. Take a quick second to reflect on this. What really happens when doing your absolute best suddenly becomes, well, just too much? It's kind of a creeping feeling, isn't it? A lot of us have totally been there. You know, you're doing everything right, you're organized, ambitious, you're helping out your family, hitting all your deadlines, and yet, despite all of that outward success, there's this massive inward depletion. You hit a total wall of burnout. Today, we're going to unpack exactly why that happens and, more importantly, how to reverse it, looking at a really compelling case study.
Section 1. The weight of expectations. Let's look at Leah's journey. To really wrap our heads around these mental health factors, let's look at a super bright, really active student named Leah. She's heavily involved in her school newspaper, she helps out a ton at home, and she studies relentlessly. On paper, she is absolutely thriving. But in reality, the physical and emotional toll is immense. Despite her amazing achievements, Leah began feeling profoundly exhausted. Basically, the pressure of managing every single expectation just compounded until her internal capacity was totally eclipsed by all these external demands. So, what does that transition from highly active to totally overwhelmed actually look like? Well, it usually starts with a persistent feeling of being tired, but it goes a lot deeper than that. For Leah, her smile just kind of began to fade, and she actually experienced a total loss of interest in her favorite hobbies. Things that used to bring her joy suddenly just felt empty. These are classic critical warning signs, major factors affecting mental health that we really need to watch out for.
Moving on to Section 2, the power of opening up and finding external support. You know, when we get caught in a nasty cycle of burnout, our first instinct is usually to isolate ourselves. But external support systems are a vital factor affecting our mental well-being, and often that support starts with a surprisingly simple intervention. One evening, noticing she was unusually quiet at dinner, Leah's mom gently asked, "Are you okay, Anak?" That one simple prompt literally unlocked the door. It finally gave Leah the permission to open up about the immense pressure she'd been feeling.
The shift from isolation to community support is just profound. Think about going from Leah bearing the weight of her world completely alone to the immediate aftermath of her opening up. The very next day, she took a super brave step and shared her feelings with her two closest friends at school. You can almost feel that heavy burden lifting just by bringing her peers into the picture.
The really crucial element here is exactly how her friends responded. They didn't laugh, and they definitely didn't judge her. In fact, they admitted that they sometimes felt the exact same way. This right here is the magic of vulnerability. By admitting that they too felt that same crushing weight, her peers completely removed the stigma from Leah's burnout. Peer validation is, without a doubt, a massive protective factor for mental health.
Okay, Section 3. Taking action for self-care and building healthy daily habits.
Having found some solid support, Leah was finally in a position to make real changes. Because, let's be real, mental well-being requires deliberate daily actions. Here is a super practical playbook for resetting your baseline. Step 1. Actually make time for rest. Step 2. Eat healthy meals, because your physical fuel totally dictates your mental capacity. Step 3. Get outside for some fresh air to shift your mental state. And Step 4, keep a small journal, just to get those swirling thoughts out of your head and onto paper.
By deliberately engaging with the natural world and having a dedicated outlet to process her thoughts, Leah gave her brain the space it desperately needed to decompress. The physical environment we place ourselves in is a massive factor affecting our mental health. Stepping away from that demanding desk environment, that's an active, powerful choice to prioritize recovery.
But here's the catch. Self-care isn't just about adding healthy habits. Sometimes it's actually about subtracting demands. And this requires setting limits, which is basically the practice of knowing your actual capacity and politely saying no. When the school newspaper offered her even more responsibilities, Leah respectfully declined. She realized that truly taking care of herself meant actively protecting her time and her energy.
Which brings us to Section 4, finding your balanced self and cultivating a healthy mindset.
Fast forward a few weeks after hitting her breaking point, and Leah experienced a fundamental redefinition of what a healthy mindset actually looks like. Her old mindset was all about doing absolutely everything to be perfect. It was rigid and totally unsustainable. Her new mindset? It's about listening to herself and having the courage to ask for help. Mental well-being isn't about flawlessness, guys. It's about self-awareness and knowing when you're running on empty.
Now, did that mountain of expectations just magically vanish? No, but she now knows exactly how to navigate it without losing herself in the process. While she wasn't perfect anymore, she had her smile back. Taking care of herself, whether through her community, through healthy habits, or setting firm boundaries, it completely restored her balance.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a direct question to think about. Based on everything we've just uncovered about the factors affecting mental health, what is one expectation you can say no to today to protect your peace? You don't have to change everything all at once, but you can definitely start by setting just one limit. Thank you so much for learning along with me today. Keep prioritizing your well-being, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.